Hi guys, great to be here with you today. Our big question is, why is there so much suffering in the world? This can be a relevant question that could be asked at this moment, but not just by people now, but by everyone throughout time. Why is there so much suffering in the world? With wars, disasters, pandemics, there can always seem like something bad is happening, and it can feel like God is just sitting back and letting it all happen. We can all experience suffering in different ways, and I don't have a quick and easy answer to that. But there's one thing that I do know, and the first point I want to make is that God does care. He cares and He loves you, and He cares and He loves all of us. There's so many examples in the Bible that tells us how much God cares and loves you. In 1 Peter 5, it clearly tells us to cast our cares to God because He cares for us. And in Matthew 6, it tells us that God cares and looks after the birds and the flowers, and that we are so much more important than they are, so how much more does God care about us? And of course, God's sending His own Son to die in our place, so we don't have to. That's the ultimate act of love, and He did that for you. And in the beginning, God created an amazing garden for Adam and Eve to live in. It was perfect. It had everything we needed, everything they needed, but it was just our desire for more, our desire to be like God that brought sin into the world. We decided to go against God, and in doing so, we brought sin into the world. Saying in Romans 5:12, therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all people because all sinned. And we see that today. People's decisions and actions can have consequences on others in really bad ways. Another important thing to remember is that God can do something about suffering. Many times in the Bible, He's turned that suffering around, such as a few blind people, a few paralyzed people, Lazarus being brought back to life, and the woman who suffered from bleeding for a long time. And not just in the Bible, but in our lives today, we can often find that our suffering can be turned around, and we can find blessings at the end of it all. Now, I know that doesn't happen all the time, and it can be hard to see why certain things are happening to us or in the world we live in. But there are times that we need to go back to the Bible, see how much God does care and love us, and to trust in Him whenever anything is happening. Because the deepest suffering any of us can face is separation from God. I'm not 100% sure why suffering happens. I don't think any of us will know all the answers. But in times of uncertainty, the important thing is to remember is that God does care and love us. He doesn't want us to suffer. And that this world is not the end. We have eternity waiting for us, where it tells us in Revelation that there will be no more tears, no more death, no more pain, as the old ways will have passed away. Suffering can be really hard, but knowing that God is there for us can really help us get through it.